A court has ordered an injunction against an accreditation ban against a journalist posted in Parliament after former Parliament Speaker Cemil Çiçek had put into process a complaint petition without hearing both sides of the story. Ali Aslan Kılıç, the Parliament chief for today's Zaman, was denied access to the Parliament building in March after his entry card was revoked. Kılıç received the accreditation ban after former Justice and Development Party, AK Party, Deputy Cuma İçten filed a complaint with the Press Relations Board of Parliament against Kılıç, accusing the journalist of insulting him. The board decided to revoke Kılıç's card without even hearing his defense. When Çiçek was asked about the question, he was reported to have said, "When I receive a petition, I put it into action. Anyone who thinks they have been mistreated should go to court." Kılıç firmly denies insulting İçten and asserts there were many journalists who witnessed him asking İçten a question about his claims regarding the Gülen movement, also known as the Hizmet movement, a grassroots social initiative inspired by Turkish Islamic scholar Fethullah Gülen. Court rules for injunction due to lack of evidence over claims. On Friday, the First Chamber of Ankara's Regional Administrative Court ruled for an injunction on Kılıç's ban and the revocation of his access card to Parliament on the grounds that the ban obstructs the defendant from doing his job and will bring about irreparable damage. The court cited Article 14 of the Regulation on the Work of the Press at Parliament, which states that any member of the press who commits acts or engages in behavior that violates the safety and respectability of Parliament will have their correspondence card revoked by the relevant administrative officer. Stating that the alleged action must be proven for Article 14 of the regulation to be enforced, the court ruled that an individual cannot be punished solely on the basis of a complaint petition. In this regard, the fact that the plaintiff put forward a complaint petition with immaterial statements when he should have proven in the investigation how and with what actions and words the alleged deed took place demonstrates an incompatibility with the law. The ruling added it is obvious the punishment handed down obstructs the defendant from doing his job and that irreparable damage will result, therefore accepting the defendant's appeal and ruling for an injunction on the decision to expel Kılıç. Lawyer, injunction signals final decision of court. Kılıç's lawyer Aslan Kılıç, speaking to today's Zaman, said the First Chamber of Ankara's Regional Administrative Court put an end to a blatantly unlawful act. The illegitimacy of the decision taken by the Parliament Speaker has been noted by the court. The decision for an injunction is also a signal of the final decision of the court, he said. The illegitimacy determined by the court was, unfortunately, experienced in an institution such as Parliament. Unfortunately, this illegitimacy took place under the watch of the Parliament Speaker with a background in law, said Ergina. Kılıç, I only asked İçten a question. Speaking with today's Zaman, Kılıç shared the details of his exchange with İçten, noting the deputy had targeted the followers of the Gülen movement and had claimed the movement is linked with Israel and used some defamatory expressions about the movement's followers during an interview with a TV channel at the Parliament press office. While İçten was passing by after completing his interview, I asked him whether he had any evidence to support his allegations against the movement's followers. He replied saying such things do not require any evidence. I later said the allegations are very serious and reminded him of the principle of a person proving his or her allegations, and then I sat down, he said. Kılıç said İçten later raised his voice at him and asked Kılıç which newspaper he works for. When İçten learned Kılıç works for today's Zaman, İçten used defamatory words such as servant of Israel and Israeli spy, while Kılıç said he chose to remain silent. Eyewitness, everyone saw Kılıç remaining silent. Parliament correspondents who witnessed the exchange between İçten and Kılıç said the accusation that Kılıç had insulted İçten is baseless. Kanalturk reporter Urteli, in previous comments to today's Zaman, underlined that the conversation took place in his presence and that Kılıç merely asked the deputy for documents supporting his claims about the Gülen movement. Telly said when İçten raised his voice, Kılıç reminded the deputy that any claim must be supported by evidence. Everybody witnessed Kılıç not insulting İçten, Telly added. On the contrary, according to Telly, it was İçten who insulted the reporter, asking whether he was of sound mind or if he has any proof of his own intellect. 10 reportedly asked the Today's Zaman correspondent, "Are you getting frustrated because I spoke about your connection to Israel?" Another witness, Al-Azal channel reporter Sami Gaki, confirmed the same version of the incident, saying 10 lashed out at KL when he asked for proof of his claims. Gaki said KL did not respond to 10's verbal harassment.